Very good. Well, we have a great program today. So, good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Hope everyone had a wonderful long weekend. If you had a long weekend celebrating Dr. King's day yesterday, January 20th. And we are so excited today because we have Eric Wright, who is the Chief Contracting Officer from the Division of Contracts from the Indian Health Service. And as you saw in the invitation, this will be a great opportunity to learn how to do work with Indian Health Services, not only in the Albuquerque area, but there is a lot of need in all of New Mexico, Southern Colorado, and Western Texas. And they're looking for all types of vendors that Eric will get into more details about. So a little bit of housekeeping for today. Typically, we go around the Zoom room and we allow everyone to introduce themselves. But since we have a large group today, we probably won't have a chance to do that. But if you do have questions, feel free to add it to the chat. And we also have questions at the end of the presentation. Everyone will have access to the presentation. I will make sure to email out Eric's presentation, and it's also being recorded. So you can always go back to the YouTube channel that we're going to post the video where it's going to be there. Okay, so without further ado, Eric, take it away.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Let me share my screen again. Let's see here. All right, and good morning, everybody. Can you see me and can you hear me and see my screen okay? Oh, can you guys hear me okay?
We can hear you.
All right, cool. All right, thank you very much. So again, good morning, everybody. My name is Eric Wright. I am the Chief Contracting Officer for the Albuquerque Area Indian Health Service. First and foremost, of course, I do want to say thank you so much for your time today. Thank you so much for giving me your space to present on behalf of the Albuquerque Area IHS. Like I said, here's my contact information. You can get a hold of me any way you like. If you want to have a quick chat, let's see, through text messages or email or give me a phone call, that's totally fine. The biggest thing I do request, if you want to have a conversation, which is totally fine, I do welcome that, please leave a voicemail because I can call you guys back for sure. And again, here I am, the Chief of Contracting for the Albuquerque Area IHS. So for the small vendors here, the vendors that we have on the call today, I just want to give a brief overview of who the IHS is before we get into the nitty-gritty of what we're looking for and what we need. So the Indian Health Service, we're a federal agency under the Department of Health and Human Services. The IHS, as we're most commonly known as, is tasked with the job providing basically healthcare services to our Native people in the remote regions of New Mexico and pretty much all of the U.S. So our vision is to actually build stronger communities, strengthen our healthcare system too as well. And within that family, within that body, we are the Division of Contracts and Grant Services within the Albuquerque area. And again, we support the mission by addressing the customer needs, looking for vendors, while following statutory requirements and meeting small business and competition requirements too as well. So for the Albuquerque Area IHS, we don't cover all of the U.S. We cover just the state of New Mexico, Southern Colorado, and parts of Texas too as well. The main tribes that we provide assistance to is going to be the 20 Pueblos here in New Mexico, the 2 Apache bands, and the 3 bands of Navajo, and also the 2 Ute tribes too as well. So again, keep that in mind. Any information that you provide to me, I will be sharing that with our team too. More about that pretty soon. And within the Division of Contracts and Grants Management, currently we have a staff of about a little over 10 contract specialists who work with the requirements submitted from our healthcare facilities. And that could be the request for non-personal healthcare services, medical supplies, services of any bandwidth you can think of to run a hospital. But we'll talk more about that soon. And again, the purpose of my efforts today is going to be looking for more and more small businesses to work with. As you're well aware, there are statutory authorities that we have to abide by in looking for small businesses, which we're trying to do more and more. One big news to share is that I recently got my deputy director filled. This really is a 2-person show. So now that I have a deputy director. I'm able to actually go out and to do more outreach with people and meet new people. This is actually our first time presenting to you as well. So keep in mind, with Indian Health Service, we're looking for anything and everything that you can think of to run a hospital, whether it be equipment, supplies, staffing, technical services, training, facility management, whatever you can think of, we need it for sure. Now, if you want to learn more about the IHS, who we are and what we do, just simply go to ihs.gov, click on IHS office on the very top, and then navigate to the far right, and you're going to see the Albuquerque area right there where the arrows are pointing. And these other areas that you're seeing too on the far right, Alaska area, Bemidji, Billings, those are the other if you click on those links, it'll show you the geographical areas that they cover too as well. So when you click on the Albuquerque area, it's going to take you to here, of course, a picture of our beautiful Sandia Mountains, a brief description of who we are, who we serve, and what we do for within the Albuquerque area too as well. And then when you click on healthcare facilities, these are going to be the federally funded and federally organized healthcare facilities we have in New Mexico. So there's a number of among all of them are basically urgent care facilities from 9 to 5, but the Zuni Healthcare Center is a full-blown hospital. They have inpatient, outpatient, OB too as well, and 24-hour urgent care, ER. And toward the middle, the New Mexico Regional Treatment Center, that's actually our youth treatment center located in the Pueblo of Acoma too as well. And again, that is a federally run facility too as well, run by IHS. Going on to my next. Last year, we did pretty well. If you look at our numbers, how we closed out, this is kind of a bragging point for me. Last year, we were the #1 contracting office for awards made to small businesses. 71% of our dollars went to small businesses. A second bragging point was we were #1 too as well for the small disadvantaged awards made to small businesses too as well. And what I'm most proud of, what I'm most happy about is that we were the #1 contracting office nationwide for awards made to women-owned small businesses, with close to 20% of our dollars going to women-owned small businesses. Not that it's a competition or anything, but we do want to increase those numbers as best we can. So of course, if you fall into any one of these categories, I want to know who you are and I need to know who you are. Going to my next slide, just to give you a brief rundown of what we've done historically. 10 years ago, let's see, back in 2015, you can see we capped a little under $30 million. If you look how we finished out last year, we awarded over $80 million in contracts. So we've grown drastically, and I'm pretty sure you've seen that too as well. There's been a shift out there for services too as well. We've had a lot of people retire, a lot of people just leave, and we're contracting for positions that we've never contracted before in the past. We're contracting for nurses, doctors, medical assistants, even housekeepers we're contracting for. In retrospect, you would think those are easy filled jobs, but for some reason it's not. So we're contracting more and more for those professions, those positions too as well. So in looking at that trend, that graph, you're going to see that what worked 5, 10 years ago is not going to work today. 10 years ago, we capped at over $20 million. 5 years ago, we capped at a little over $30 million, and actually we closed out the fiscal year at $80 million. So again, we are growing and growing constantly. And I ran our numbers today. As of today, we've actually awarded over $30 million in contracts. And we're not even in the middle of the fiscal year. I think we're like 112 days into the fiscal year. So I'm thinking that these numbers are going to grow even more. And in addition to that, currently in our workload, we have over $6 million that we have to award in contracts that have already been pre-competed, that have already been awarded, but we just have to obligate those funds so we get the contract rolling. So because of that, we're growing. We need to grow. I need more and more staff to assist with these procurements. So we're currently working with our HR office. We have about 4 to 5 contract specialist positions we're hiring for. two program analysts, and again, two contract specialists, also known as cores within my division. And keep in mind, over half of these are brand new positions that we've never had before, and we actually have to grow because you can see that our numbers are constantly growing. So if you know of anyone who's interested in a job, please share my information too as well. One big thing that I am looking for is I really do not want someone who can come in and do the job already. I want to bring in entry-level people so we can bring forth that new generation of professionals and acquisitions. So again, if you have any new college graduated people, please let me know. I do want to work with them as best I can and provide them that opportunity to work in federal procurements. Because we're slowly getting more and more staff, so I'm able to actually go out there and do more outreach too as well. This past year, I went to the New Mexico Native American Economic Summit. I went to the New Mexico Vet Biz Conference, and I actually partook in the virtual career fair too as well, and actually brought forth a lot of ideas for me to hold my own virtual career day or acquisitions too as well. So we do want to attend more career fairs locally within New Mexico, because I do want to hire more and more people locally within our state too as well. So in terms of acquisitions, over 95% of our awards are competitive actions. We post everything on sam.gov, and less than 4 or 5% of our awards are sole source opportunities. And those are primarily just for emergency situations, like, they come into the office, or under a foot of water, or they come into the office and, whoa, the roof is missing. And this is where it's very important, where we know about when these emergencies do happen, where we know about these local vendors who are locally here in New Mexico, or especially in Albuquerque too as well. If we know that you're out there, we can set this aside locally for you, because a lot of times we're looking for someone who can provide 24-hour response time, someone who can hit the ground running, as opposed to someone on the East Coast or West Coast who have to take some time to fly in and address the situation. So one of the big things I do want to clarify too is, given that we are the Indian Health Service, there is a statutory requirement that we have to set aside our procurements for Native American-owned small businesses. Keep in mind, there are some rules in regards to this I do want to clarify, which provides an opportunity for other small businesses to partake. So you're going to see this verbiage on a lot of our opportunities on sam.gov, but keep in mind, I want a space for you to focus more on this section here. So if the IHS does not receive 2 or more reasonably priced offers, then that permits us the opportunity to look at other small businesses. And I can tell you right now, over half of these, we are getting quotes that are fairly high. So that forces us to look at other than small businesses too as well. So again, keep that in mind. And if you see this on there, I don't want to defray you from submitting a quote. And let's talk about that a little bit more. So again, look at that section and kind of break it apart and what it means to you too as well. So keep this in mind. If we only get one quote from a native vendor and no other quotes, we unfortunately cannot set that aside as a small business set aside for Native American vendors. And again, that's another, like a bullet too as well. We can't set that aside for small businesses too as well. As a result of that, we have to go large business afterwards. So this is a prime opportunity for other small businesses to partake in these procurements too as well. And a lot of times our subject matter experts want to see what other quotes were received too as well in response to their requirements. So again, keep that in mind. So it's very important that we know who you are. We know what you can do, and we know that you are out there. So if you don't know my name, please take down my information. I want to be in contact with you. I do have some vendors that call me on the daily, like, hey, Eric, is there anything going on that we should be aware of? We're a construction company. What can we do to help? And I appreciate those calls, and I will take those calls too as well to hear what you guys have to say. Because we're in New Mexico, emergencies happen, but they don't happen every day, but it seems like they do. And today is really, really cold, so I'm just waiting for my phone to blow up with something, well, pipes freezing, we need, snow pellets or something, or ice melt. I'm just waiting for those phone calls to happen. So keep in mind, we are the Indian Health Service again. We are any information you share to me, you send to me, whether it be your capability statement or statement of qualifications. I will share that with our team too as well. We have a very, very robust library that we use for both our purchase card holders and also our cores that they can use for market research. And we also share that depending on your profession. If you're in IT, we share that with our IT department. If you're construction, we share that with our engineers too as well. And also keep in mind, if you saw our listing of federally run facilities, that does not encompass all of the other tribally run facilities in our state, New Mexico. So those other tribally run facilities, healthcare facilities, also known as 638 facilities, we actually share what information you give to me. I share that with them too as well, because a lot of times the tribes ask, who does IHS use for construction? Who does IHS use for IT? And we share that information with them too as well. Or do you know of anyone who can provide this type of service? And you may or may not know this too as well, but we also provide financial assistance and help to the urban Indian organizations in New Mexico and Colorado. The Denver Indian Health and Family Services, we provide a great deal of funding for them to support them, and also First Nation, which is down the street too as well. And same thing, they ask us, who does IHS use for this? Who does IHS use for that? And we share that information that you give to us with them too as well. Because we see it as an opportunity for information sharing, because we do have to work together, and also an opportunity for small businesses to build their portfolio too as well. One of the things that we're doing, which is pretty cool, similar to what you guys are doing here with the Minority Business Development Center, is we have a small business hour, which is kind of reverse what we're doing right now. What we do is we actually host an hour once. We're actually going every 2 weeks now because we got a big turnout for this. We allot 1 hour every other Thursday for 4 small businesses to come into our office, either in person or on Zoom, and they actually self-market themselves, who they are, what they can and cannot do. So this Zoom meeting is actually open to everyone within the Albuquerque area. And keep in mind, I'm a contracting officer too as well. I'm pretty smart, but I'm not that smart. When you talk to me about Cat6 cable, you talk to me about construction, I'll admit to you, it goes over my head. So because of that, we invite our subject matter experts, like IT site managers, engineers, medical officers, directors of nursing to attend, so they can actively engage with you and ask any questions that they have of you too as well. So if you're not aware of that, let me know, and I can share an invitation with you to attend to as well, along with more information. Like I said, we were going for once a month, but the demand was great, so we're increasing that to once every other month, every other week actually. And it's getting more and more, so we're looking at possibly hosting it every week. But again, that goes into staffing too as well, so we are working with that. And again, it's a very important avenue that we need to share that information that you share with us too as well, so we know who you are and what you can do. So again, here's the contact information, and I'll share the slide deck with you too as well on how to register for our small business hour. Again, during that time, you'll be able to send in what documents you want to share. We share that on your behalf beforehand and during the time of the meeting. And again, we keep that on file with our office too as well. And we actually use that for market research too as well to determine if a small business set aside is appropriate for that procurement. We give you 15 minutes to self-market yourself, and also within that 15 minutes, we allot time to ask questions too as well and engage actively in that back and forth, which you do need to perform market research. So one of the biggest tips that I can provide to you too as well on how to increase procurements, federal procurements with your agency, with your organization, is to regularly communicate. Let me know who you are. Let us know who you are. If you feel you're bombarding us with emails, keep on going. It doesn't matter. Our feelings won't be hurt. We do look at your emails. It takes time, I'll admit that, but we do look at them too as well. Keep us posted on who you are, your success stories too as well. If you're growing, if you added more divisions or more specialties to your portfolio, let us know. We want to hear about that so we can possibly use that in case of emergency or in case something comes up that we need help with. And as always, any questions that you ask is always a good question, in my opinion. Another tip I want to provide to you is to self-market yourself to the other IHS contracting offices within the Indian Health Service. So if you go to ihs.gov, or actually click on this link right here, let me show my screen real quick. If you just go to, let's see here, ihs.gov/DAP, the Division of Acquisition Policy. This is where you're going to get the information, the contact information for all of the contracting officers within the Indian Health Service, or actually the CCOs within the Indian Health Service. So this first page here is going to show you basically our headquarters office. They're the ones who run the national show for us too in New Mexico. But here are the ones I want to share with you. The other the chief contracting officers within the U.S. who can assist you. You see my information here, you click on my name, it'll pull up my email address. And here's more and more information for the Navajo area, Oklahoma area, and so forth. So again, self-market yourself to as many people as you can and ask as much questions as you can. So one clarification that I do want to provide in terms of construction, within all of the contracting offices within the Indian Health Service, each and every one of us, we're capped at construction procurement to under 150K. Any construction procurements above that amount, it'll actually have to go to our engineering division so they can handle that for you too as well. And here's her contact information, Melissa Warmath. And again, she is the one who will handle the larger procurements over 150K for construction. But anything else we can handle too as well within our division locally. So if you want to know who we are and what is upcoming, what is our potential forecast too as well, we do post our information online on the SBCX website. Again, we're part of the Department of Health and Human Services, so we use their platform too as well. And all of our upcoming procurements that we have for this fiscal year are posted there. And by the end of this fiscal year, we'll post all of our upcoming procurements for FY26 on there too as well. But again, do reach out to our office if you have any questions or comments. Again, if you see one you're interested, let us know. And we'll gladly let you know too as well once it's out there, or if it even is out there too as well. To expand your portfolio too as well, if you're interested in becoming a federal supply schedule holder, or what's commonly known as a GSA contract holder, let us know. We can team you up with our customer service director, and she's assigned to the Albuquerque area, and she wants to hear your questions. She wants to build on what we're doing too as well. So if you have any questions on becoming a GSA contract holder, a federal supply schedule holder, let us know, and we can help you with that too as well. If you want to look at any of our past procurements, any trends you're seeing, like, hey, IHS uses a lot of medical supply people, they use a lot of construction people, you're going to find that information and decipher that here too as well. I'm clicking this is a federal procurement database system. This is actually real-time data. Everything that we award in our system, we have to code this manually into this FPDS system too as well, which you can see. And feel free to ask any questions you have about that too as well with us, and we can help you with that. Again, like I said, all of our opportunities we post on sam.gov. Any sole sources that we do plan to do, we are required statutorily to report that on sam.gov and give you an opportunity to ask any questions of it, like, hey, why are you sole sourcing this opportunity? I can do this too as well. What's going on, IHS? Can you give us more information about this? And then keep in mind, the worst anyone will say is no, but I feel like me, you really don't want to hear the word no. So, in conclusion, as we gear up toward the end of my presentation, I just want to share with you that your success is our success. Please continue with your strides, continue to innovate, continue to bring forth new ideas to assist in our procurements too as well. And I can tell you personally, some of our contracts we award on the East Coast, on the West Coast, and it'll be great to keep our money here in New Mexico. But again, I need to know who you are and what you guys can do. So we are being very aggressive with our small business activities. We want to award more and more as we can to small businesses, as much as we can. So we are participating in the upcoming Sandia National Laboratories Opportunities Fair. If you're not aware of that, let me know. I can share that information with you. We are going to RES in Las Vegas In the past, it was prohibited for us to go, but now we can go, so I'm going to go. And if you haven't heard, for the Indian Health Service, the Albuquerque area, we're hosting our first annual Women-Owned Small Business Industry Day. In honor of Women's History Month in March, we're going to host that in March. It's going to be a 2-day session where we're only allowing women-owned small businesses an opportunity to come into our office either virtually to present, to self-market themselves to us too as well. Again, this is our inaugural event. It's our first time we're ever having this event for the Albuquerque area. And the next one, of course, we're going to have our annual Native American-owned Small Business Industry Day. And it's going to be in Native American month in November too as well, November 5th and 6th. This past year, we held one back in November. We were going to do it just for one day, but we got a large response, so we had to do it for 2 days. And that was a welcome change that we had to do. So again, thank you for that. And again, I know it was a lot of information. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know, and we can do what we can to assist you, provide clarification, or team me up with someone who can help you too as well. And let me go back to the very first slide deck so you can take down my information. And again, ask any questions you need to. If you just want to send over a copy of a capability statement, please do so, and I will share that with our team too as well. Give me some time to respond to your emails because given my position within the Albuquerque area, I'm pretty busy, but I'm not too busy for you. Just let me know and I will make some time for you to talk. But this concludes my presentation. Any questions or comments?
Thank you so much, Eric. This is super helpful. I think probably what everyone appreciated is like the very openness, like sharing emails and phone numbers and all the contact information for not just you, but a lot of people on your team. So I'm sure that's appreciated. I will open it up for a few questions. I know there's a few people who want to ask questions, and there's a question in the chat as well. But just as a highlight, just as a reminder, I will send everyone this PowerPoint presentation. That way everyone has the links and the information in for everyone that registered, which is obviously all of you. This is also being recorded. I'll just send a YouTube channel just in case it's helpful to rewatch it again. I'm sure everyone is aware that at this point, probably what would be helpful to meet with Eric one-on-one or anybody else in the team is to send that email to schedule the Thursday, a 15-minute one-on-one session. That might be really helpful. So one question, I'll just start, Eric. How do we connect with IHS utility operations? Do they conduct their own procurement opportunities?
So it depends. Like I said, for construction locally, we are capped at 150K. But if you are interested in both avenues, let us know and we can share that information both with our engineers here locally for those smaller procurements. And we'll actually send that over to our division of engineering services who will reach out to you because like me, they're looking for more and more small businesses to work with locally too as well, especially for the procurements that we have here in New Mexico. Because a lot of our facilities, a few of them, they're planning to rebuild. A few of them they're planning on revamping too as well. So of course they want to look for someone locally who knows the area, the geographical area too as well. So let us know. And if you feel you're not getting the help you need from my office, let me know. And we can be more aggressive too as well.
Thank
Hope I
you.
answered your question. No, let me know.
Yeah. Scott or Gary, do you guys have any questions? I see you guys went on camera. Or no?
No, just thank you for the information. I'm a service disabled veteran, no business, so that was nice to see the second tier. I didn't know that, and then also that to submit your bid regardless, because I've been kind of like, I guess I shouldn't submit this. I thought it was a complete set aside for Native Americans, so I didn't submit before. So now that's good to know.
That's right.
Yes, for sure. Submit your quote. We do want to hear from you because, again, like I said, the use of Native American-owned vendors is fairly new to as well. So, like I said, if we don't get enough bids from Native vendors, and we don't get anything from small businesses, then we have to go large, which unfortunately, we don't want to do that. We want to go small as much as we can, and we want to see our numbers grow and grow.
Thank you.
No questions here. Just glad to reconnect. And Eric, maybe I can follow up with you some more. And
oh, for sure.
Wonderful.
Yep.
I have a question in the chat. I'll just read it out from Ruth Espinosa. I'm so grateful for this information. Thank you. New Big Group is a minority women-owned small business, so the March 27, 28th event, hosting event would be beneficial. How can I learn more about this event?
Oh, sure. Of course, I have to throw it out there. Women rule the world, right? So why don't we take part in these events too as well? So email me your information. Let me know your interest in this too as well. And we have that posted on sam.gov too as well, that events for women-owned small businesses. So let us know you're interested. We'll send you the information that we need to get you scheduled, and we'll go from there. But again, my email address is right here, eric.wright@ihs.gov.
Thank you. And maybe I can send that also with if you want to send me the information about that event, when I send out the presentation, I can send that details as well. So everyone has it. There's another question. Where do we locate current procurement opportunities? So I know that you said for people to reach out to you directly, but where is it on the website? And if maybe you can also show the forecast website. So it's just on sam.gov. Okay.
Sure. If you go to sam.gov and just click on search, this is where you're going to find all of the procurement opportunities nationwide. So again, it may be a little daunting, a little overwhelming, but here is our DAT code, 758-707. If you type that in, you should be able, and actually never searched for this kind of thing before, contract opportunities, and then 758-707. I think that's how you do it. Let me see. Or type in Albuquerque.
I'm sorry, I play in sam.gov a lot. If you scroll down to location and type in select New Mexico, excuse me, it'll pop up. Place or performance. Place of performance.
Oh, right here? Okay.
No, cancel that. You see your set aside? Right below your set aside. Go down just a tad, right there.
Okay.
And then go to state and you can do New Mexico. Or any state, yeah.
And just hit search, right?
You do have to clear out your Albuquerque up on top. I would get rid of all three of those.
Okay, here you go. So this actually pulls up all of the federally procurement requests or opportunities for New Mexico. I know there's a way to drill down to the Albuquerque area.
You could do by zip code.
Just go there to, federal, put in Indian Health Services right there.
Oh, Indian Health.
And it'll pop up. There you go.
Okay, here you go. So keep in mind too, as well, for Albuquerque area, we cover all of New Mexico with the exception of the Navajo Nation. The Navajo Nation, Navajo area IHS, they have their own procurement office too as well for those federally run facilities. So you're going to see a mixture here of Albuquerque area and also Navajo area too as well. And here's the posting for our women-owned small business virtual matchmaking too as well.
Great.
Yeah, another avenue that you can look at too as well is going to be the SBCX website. Just type in SBCX. Again, we are part of the Department of Health and Human Services, so this is where we use their platform too as well. And you would just click on all IHS opportunities, click on the magnifying glass here. Where is it again? Here it is. HHS forecast opportunities. So depending on who you are and what you do, you can click on just view all. And you can export this out, and you can see too what we have here. And you can see my name's right here too a bunch of times on what we're looking for as well. So like I said, all of our upcoming 2025 opportunities that we do plan to award or work on this year is going to be posted here. And for FY26, we should have that posted close to the end of this fiscal year as well. But again, it doesn't hurt for you to reach out to our office and let us know who you are and what you can do. And I'll tell you too as well, a lot of times that these vendors reach out, there's pretty much an emergency happening. Like, oh, hey, we could possibly use you for this. And I share that information with our engineers, with our team, and they're like, yeah, great catch, Eric. We can use this vendor. Let's do an urgent, compelling sole source award to this contractor because we're under a foot of water right now, and let's dry up our feet real quick.
Thank you so much for showing both. That's super helpful. Okay, another question from Tyler. On the industry side, we recognize small requirements from IHS, meaning 1 or 2 personnel. These came out quite a bit. Has IHS considered an RFP for an IDIQ to capture these? An IDIQ could save time, money combining these requirements.
Oh, for sure. That's, of course, the preferred way to go with doing this too as well. But again, the staffing is the issue that I have. So with what happened with COVID-19, kind of a lot really depleted our staff. A lot of people thought about, retirement, leaving the workforce too, and that did happen, unfortunately. So, our HR office has not been able to keep up. And for the contractor performance specialist, also known as CORS, that we do have there at the field, they basically want to take care of their house first, their specific facility first, before venturing out and, taking care of the entire Albuquerque area. So with that being said, that is a great question. That is good. We do plan to do that too as well, but I do need 2 dedicated staff to perform that function for us. So I am going to advertise for 2 contract performance specialists, also known as CORS. This will be their full-time job, so we can reestablish these IDIQs that we've had in the past, where we have 2 to 3 vendors that we go to primarily to assist with our non-personal healthcare services, or 2 to 3 vendors that we go just for construction services too as well, or even more than that too as well. But again, we do not have the staff for those area-wide contracts, but that is my intention once we do get our contractor performance specialists on board and up and running.
Thank you. Any other questions? We still have a little bit of time if people want to use it, no pressure. While people are thinking about it, maybe I'll just mention that, this session is called the MBDA Spotlight Series, where we have once a month, and we invite anchor institutions. And it's really a service that is just for MBDA clients. But because it's the beginning of 2025, we wanted to make sure that it's open to the community as a whole. And that's why maybe a lot of you, this is your first time joining an MBDA Spotlight Series. But just so from reference, for example, we've had, the national laboratories, anchor institutions like PNM, and universities and colleges and, all different types. So we're now planning the one for February. So if you want to learn more, please reach out to us. I'll put my contact information as well to the Minority Business Development Agency so you can learn how to work more closely with us and obviously be informed of the Spotlight series that are upcoming in 2025. Any other questions for Eric while we have him? There you go. Tyler, has the IHS utilized a BIA IDIQ, business support IDIQ, to buy more services?
We are aware that those IDIQs do exist. Unfortunately, we haven't used them quite yet. The preference is that we go into our own procurement, our own contract in place. If you can imagine, things happen, things will always happen. Something always happens. So if we use one of those BIA IDIQs, we have to get involved with the BIA too as well. And a lot of times, we're still working on that and how that's going to look for us too as well. But if you are a holder of those IDIQs, let us know. Let us know who you are and what you can do. I do believe I have information on file, but again, reminders always help because you can see it's never a dull moment for me, for us in our office. I mean, being on this call right now, I'm counting on over 100 emails just came in too as well. But let us know, remind us that you are a contract holder of an existing BIA IDIQ. And then we can share that information too with our team and reshare that information too, as well, especially if you're not seeing too much traction coming from IHS locally. Ask us that question, like, hey, do you know this contract exists? Why aren't you using it? Let us know. Are we not doing something right or wrong? Let us know. I can tell you too as well, we had a women-owned construction firm. They were awarded a national contract, IDIQ with IHS. And then for a year, it was dormant. No one used it. And then they came to us asking what's going on. And I did some research and I told them about that. Where was it at? That locally within IHS, we're only limited to procurement at $150K for construction. That women-owned small business was not aware of that, so we actually clarified that with her. And it's not for any fault of her own, it's just there's a lot of education, a lot of training required for those procurements, those construction procurements over 150K that we're just not ready for, that we're not trained to do. Because that's an advanced level of contracting that we're just not equipped to do. But again, like I said, any question is a welcome question. Just let us know. Like I said, if you're a holder of that BA IDIQ and you're not seeing too much traction from IHS, let us know and we'll find out what's going on.
Thank you, Eric. I'm sure everyone really appreciates your openness and willing to work with everyone. Any additional questions? Okay. Well, everyone has Eric's contact information, so feel free to reach out. Eric, I have an impression you're going to get lots of emails and calls in the coming days, which is really great. So that would be really wonderful. And if lots of contracts are a result of this webinar and contract. So thank you, everyone. Again, we will send out communication with the presentation, the YouTube channel, all the information that we chatted about, and feel free to reach out to the Indian Health Services. Have a great Tuesday, everyone, and a great week. Thank you, Eric. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you.
Thank you.